Okay, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something genuinely special, the incredible poetry of devotion hidden inside the modern South Asian love song, Teri Muskurahat. If you're the kind of person who loves peeling back the layers of catchy lyrics, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to explore how a track that seems pretty straightforward on the surface actually transforms into this deeply profound spiritual journey.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The lyrics start with, "You are the only reason for happiness." I mean, they don't waste a single second, do they? Right out of the gate, we're hit with this absolute, undeniable statement. The songwriter isn't just throwing around a casual, "Hey, you make me happy." No, they're establishing a strict baseline where the narrator's entire emotional ecosystem depends completely on their beloved. It's a really intense claim. Think about the everyday things that bring you joy. Success, nature, maybe just a really good cup of coffee. Now imagine stripping all of that away and distilling every single drop of your happiness down to one specific person.
So that brings us to a really fascinating question. How exactly does a seemingly simple love song capture the massive spiritual depth of true devotion? We start with what looks like a standard romantic lyric, but as we're about to see, the text shifts gears super quickly. It moves away from standard romance and pulls us into a profound, almost mystical territory. It stops being a story about two people, and it becomes an exploration of the soul itself.
Section 1. The Language of the Heart.
You see, the lyrics establish a strict, almost unbreakable rule for the universe of this song. They clearly state that the heart's language is only understood by love, or ishq. In this universe, logic? Yeah, that's completely gone. Reason is totally out the window. Good luck trying to use a spreadsheet here. Love is literally the singular operating system running the narrator's heart. It's the only vocabulary they have left to process the world around them.
Now, what's really interesting here is how that operating system of love projects outward. The beloved's omnipresence is absolute. It's like the narrator's biology has been completely hijacked. Every heartbeat physically writes their name, and every breath holds their fragrance. But it doesn't even stop at biology. It alters nature itself. The night becomes fragrant with their memory, and the moonlight literally tells their stories. The songwriter wraps the narrator in the beloved's presence across absolutely every aspect of existence.
Moving into Section 2, Love as the Healer.
This brings us to what is arguably one of the most powerful concepts in the entire text. Listen to this. Love turns every wound into a prayer, turns every tear into loyalty. Wow. The song is framing love here not just as a warm feeling of affection, but as a miraculous, divine cure. It doesn't just erase the pain, it completely transforms it. Wounds aren't just healed, they actually become prayers. Tears of sorrow are alchemized into profound spiritual loyalty. It's truly awe-inspiring when you realize where this devotion is taking us.
And because this love is so deeply internal, it renders the physical world almost completely irrelevant. The lyrics state that whether the beloved is standing right in front of them or somewhere completely different, in the city of the heart, there is only their light, their nur. Honestly, this is something anyone who has ever loved deeply can totally relate to. When you care for someone on that level, physical distance really does feel secondary to the heavy emotional presence you constantly carry inside you.
Section 3. Drops and Oceans.
And this brilliantly illustrates the complete alchemy of the narrator's identity. Think about it. Before love, the narrator is described as a lonely, isolated, single drop, a katra. But after, they become a companion, completely merging with the vast, infinite ocean. Their individual identity doesn't just grow, it expands into something infinitely larger than itself.
I was a drop. You became the ocean. This is huge. It connects so deeply to classical Sufi-esque poetry where the ultimate goal of the lover, that fragile individual drop of water, is to completely dissolve into the beloved, the infinite ocean. I mean, once that drop hits the water, you can no longer tell where the drop ends and the ocean begins, right? They're entirely one.
And because they've merged into this massive ocean, physical separation becomes nothing more than an illusion. The song boldly claims that distances simply do not exist in the relationships of souls. When you aren't just a physical body anymore, but a soul fundamentally merged with another, the whole concept of being far apart mathematically ceases to exist.
Section 4. The Ultimate Destination.
So, the crucial point is, where does this inevitably lead? Well, free will, at least in the context of this song, is kind of just a beautiful illusion. The lyrics map out a very specific, undeniable path. First, every journey, no matter where it begins, reveals the beloved's address. And second, every single path brings the narrator right back to them. Actually, it's like a magnet. No matter what choices the narrator makes or what direction they decide to walk, the lyrics dictate that absolutely all roads lead back to this one person.
Yet after all of these massive cosmic metaphors, after the oceans, the moonlight, the healing light, and the spiritual merging of souls, the song brings this intense spiritual journey beautifully and intimately right back down to earth. The entire universe of the track is anchored in its title concept, "Your one smile is my world." It's just so incredibly simple, so grounded, and so deeply, deeply personal.
Which leaves us with this final thought to ponder. We've explored the dual nature of this incredible text today. It is cosmically massive, yet intimately small. So I have to ask you, is true spiritual love found in the epic, lifelong journey of merging souls and erasing distances, or is it entirely contained within the simple perfection of a single, fleeting smile? Take that question with you. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep looking for the profound poetry hidden in the everyday.